Welcome, everybody. About a minute and a half left on the warm-up clock. Ready for the 12:45 game, KC Hockey Club versus Cottage Grove. KC in the white sweaters today. Cottage Grove in all black. Buzzer has sounded. We'll clear the pucks off the ice and get started here in a couple minutes. First game of the weekend for the boys. Cottage Grove today. No other games scheduled for today. 2 tomorrow. Kind of a tough draw on the scheduling. They got a 7:15 a.m. game and an 8 p.m. game tomorrow. 3 pool play games on the docket, and then we'll see how bracket play shapes out for Sunday. John Scott Dixon on the bench for KC Hockey Club. We'll see who KC starts with for the goalies. KC, the home team here in the white sweaters. KC will go with Smith, take the face-off. Allender and Bakhta are your wingers. We're underway here in the first period. McLean and Barron are your defensemen. I'll fix my clock here. Looks like they're going 15-minute periods. In the game, so I adjusted that now. 15-minute periods. Cottage Grove picks up the puck behind their own net, trying to break it out. They bring it up to the left winger, who slides it all the way through the neutral zone. McLean is there with a great poke check by McLean. Cottage Grove gets tied up right there with the referee, loses an edge. KC trying to regain possession, but Cottage Grove will dump it in the end zone. Barron picks it up. Barron will slide it behind his own net. Eager in net, by the way, for Kansas City. He gets the start in game 1. KC clears it out. Picked up by Cottage Grove. Long outlet pass. Icing is the call as it crosses both red lines. Touched before the red line, but missed the second intended recipient of that pass. Didn't get a stick on it, so puck crossed 2 red lines. Icing is the call. We get a stoppage in play here with 14-11 remaining in the first period. KC will switch it up. Phillips and Weisner on D. Hargadine now on the ice, take the face off. JC and Howard are your wingers. Hargadine wins the face off, plays it over to Howard. Back to Hargadine. Quick shot right back in the crease, or a quick pass, I should say, right back in the crease, covered up by the Cottage Grove goalie. Hargadine trying to get it back in the crease for JC in the center, but intercepted by the goalie, and we'll get a face-off here. Hargadine wins it back to JC, taps it over to Phillips. Phillips dumps it into the corner. JC chasing after it, picked up by Cottage Grove. They'll circle behind their own net. Hargadine pursuing. He's chasing after it. They try to clear it out. Kept in, though, by Howard. Howard flips it back behind the net. Cottage Grove circling behind their own net, trying to pick it up and clear the zone, but picked off by Hargadine. Hargadine in the slot looking for a backhand shot. He'll turn around, create some space, back to Weisner on the point. Shot from Weisner, glove saved by the Cottage Grove goalie. Good puck movement there by KC. Hargadine had an opportunity in the slot, but it closed in quickly, and he played it back to Weisner. Quick shot from Weisner, glove down by the goalie, but another stoppage in play. Casey again wins a face-off. Myers taps it forward. Goalie will cover it right back up. Quick face-off win there by Johnson. Myers picked it up, slides it into the crease, but covered up. Get another face-off here. Johnson again to take the face-off. Weisner and Myers are your wingers. Cottage Grove behind their own net, trying to operate behind their own net and break it out. They do. They get it to the left winger, back in the neutral zone. Played it off their own skate, though. Errant pass. Hill is back with Powell on defense on this shift. Hill plays it up to Weisner. Weisner lost an edge. Johnson trying to create some traffic there. Shot goes wide. They're trying to play it back to the left point. Johnson there in pursuit with Myers trying to chip it out of the zone. They get it out of the zone. Chasing after it, but Cottage Grove picks up the loose puck. Cottage Grove circles back in their own face-off dot. Turns, spins, back up through the neutral zone. Myers pursuing. Poke check by Myers. Powell sends it right back in the neutral zone. Johnson is there. He chips it over to Myers. Myers chasing after it. Just out of his reach, though, and Cottage Grove will pick it up. Brown on the ice, pursuing. Cottage Grove trying to get something going through the neutral zone. McClin is back. Shot goes off McClin's shin guard, and he kicks it aside. Great poke check by McClin. Trying to get up to Brown on the near side. Brown trying to chip it out. Smith is there as well. Brown plays it up to Smith. Smith to the neutral zone. He chips it around one defender trying to chase after it, but just out of his reach, picked up by a Cottage Grove defender. Good poke check there by Smith, though. He disrupted that play. Clearing attempt picked up by Barron at center ice. Barron will chip it in. Turned aside by the Cottage Grove goalie. Goes into the corner. Dungy chasing after it. Dungy battling in the corner. Cottage Grove picks it up behind their own net, and they'll try to break it out. Through the face-off circle. Across the blue line in the neutral zone, but a great poke check by McClin disrupted that. Loose puck comes right back to a Cottage Grove winger, and he picks it up and shoots it right over the right shoulder. Beats Eager on the right side. Neutral zone poke check, but landed right on the stick of a Cottage Grove player. Zooms in on the right side, shot from just lower than the face-off dot. Cottage Grove goes up 1-0. Just under 12 minutes remaining here. Johnson will take the face-off with Bachta and Allender on the wings. Phillips and Weisner are your defensemen. Poke checks to center ice. Bachta regains possession, plays it back to Phillips. Phillips looking to play it off the boards, trying to get it up to Allender, but picked off in the neutral zone. Cottage Grove dumps it right back in. They circle around behind the KC net, trying to play it back to their point. Quick shot, loose puck in front, cleared out. Phillips clears it out. Shot hit off Eager's leg pad. Initial save, and Phillips cleared the crease. Poke check by KC. Johnson sends it ahead, just a little too far for Allender. A couple of poke checks at center ice. Picked up by Cottage Grove, but again turned away. Howard checked from behind. He gets taken down. Plays it from his knees up to Allender. Phillips picks up the loose puck, trying to chip it out. Goes off the referee. Comes back to Howard, I believe. Howard plays it in the neutral zone. Just across the blue line. Cottage Grove trying to reset in their own zone. They'll circle around the face-off dot, playing around some traffic. Poke check by JC at center ice. Cottage Grove will dump it in. Line change for KC. Half the defense has changed. Weisner still on the ice with Powell. Howard breaks it out on the left side. He's got JC. He'll dump it in across the blue line, chasing after it. Howard and JC in the corner. Cottage Grove clears it around the far side into the near corner. Hargadine on the ice for KC. Hill pitches down, trying to keep the play alive. Hill and Powell on D. Hargadine down low. They chip it behind the net. Bangs off the boards. JC chasing after it. Good poke check by JC, but eventually Cottage Grove clears it out in the neutral zone. Intercepted, though, by Hill. Hill circling around. He goes through some traffic. Hill's across the blue line. He's got Hargadine. Drop pass for Hargadine. Hargadine for a shot. Right on target. Glove save by the Cottage Grove goalie. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Good puck movement there by KC. Drop pass by Hill. Quick wrist shot by Hargadine. Right on target. Glove save and no rebound. Casey wins the face-off. Quick shot by Myers and a glove save by the goalie. We'll do it again here in the same spot. Barron and McClin back on D. Smith will take the face-off. Weisner and Myers are your wingers. Cottage Grove wins the face-off. They circle behind their own net, but good pressure by Myers. He jumps right through the traffic, picks it off, plays it back to Weisner. Weisner behind the net. Battling with the Cottage Grove player, but they come away with it. They cleared out, back to the blue line, but picked off by McClin. McClin at center ice. Gets around with a couple good poke checks. He's back in over the blue line. McClin down in the slot, trying to get a shot. Poke check just at the last second as he pulled the trigger. Weisner trying to play it around the net, picked up by Cottage Grove, and they'll clear the zone. Cottage Grove up to the neutral zone, across the blue line into the Kansas City zone. Good poke check, good back check there by Brown. Brown came back just in time to disrupt that play. Comes back to the left point, trying to free up some space. Quick shot wide left. McClin will chase after it, playing it up for Weisner. Weisner trying to play it off the boards to the neutral zone. Chips it ahead for Smith, but just out of his reach. And Cottage Grove will reset in their own zone. Cottage Grove back to the neutral zone. They dump it in. Barron picks up the loose puck. He plays it through some traffic, trying to get it ahead to Brown. Couple poke checks though, and Cottage Grove sends it right back in. Weisner and Barron on the ice. About half of the defense has changed. Loose puck right in front, trying to clear it out. Loose puck in the crease. Cottage Grove comes away with it. They play it back to the right D. Quick shot off the skate of Smith. Smith on his knees, trying to play it ahead to Dungy. Intercepted the neutral zone though. We're going to get a check here. Looks like Smith leveled a Cottage Grove player. Delayed penalty coming up on Kansas City. KC touches it up. Smith will go off with an interference or a roughing call of some sort. Smith in the box with 8.5 minutes or so remaining. Checking is the call. KC going on a penalty kill. Johnson takes the face off. Weisner and Phillips on D. Johnson and Bachta are your forwards on the penalty kill. Bachta skates up the left side, chips into the neutral zone. Cottage Grove resets. They bring it up the left side, dump it back into the Kansas City zone, but across two red lines without being touched. Icing is the call. Not ideal on a power play. Ice the puck, but KC gets a face-off in the offensive zone on the penalty kill. Minute 14 remaining on the penalty. Johnson wins the face-off with a poke check. It lands over on the right side, and Cottage Grove breaks it out. They're up the right side, across the blue line into the Kansas City zone. Phillips is there to disrupt the play. He kicks it around the left side behind the net. They play it back, though. Cottage Grove picks it up. High-low, back down to the high left point. Trying to play it back to the right D. Bachta's there to disrupt that. Phillips in the corner. Phillips ties up his man. He boards up his man. Another Cottage Grove player comes to assist. Puck shot right in front, cleared out. Great play by Weisner. As that puck was just sitting in the crease, Weisner cleared it out. Initial save was a shot really kind of played just to try to play off the backside of Eager. They just threw it into the crease. Banged around a little bit and nestled in the crease, but cleared out by Weisner. Quick shot, though, was saved and covered up by Eager. We got a face-off here with 7.5 minutes remaining in this first period. KC looking to get on the board here. Not tracking shots, not quite sure what the total would be. Feels fairly even. Just a quick strike there by Cottage Grove on that one shot for the first goal of the game, but otherwise feels fairly even. Powell in a battle. Very tall number 49 for Cottage Grove. Trying to create some space. They play it back to the right D. About 30 seconds remaining on the power play for Cottage Grove. Quick shot goes wide. Comes right back in front. One-timer attempt off target, and Weisner will just ice it. KC gets some fresh legs. They ice the puck. Chance for a line change. Howard to take the face-off. Howard wins the faceoff. He plays it back to McClin. McClin turns, fires, trying to play it up the glass. Picked off, though, right at the point, on the right side. 2 seconds remaining on the penalty to Smith. Smith is back on the ice. KC back at full strength. Smith will go straight to the action. Cottage Grove playing it right through the crease. Picked up by Smith. Smith trying to chip it out of there. Smith has some room to operate. He's got Allender in tow. Smith goes wide right, looking to get a shot. Forced out to the side. Loses the puck. Good poke check there. Great defensive play by Cottage Grove. They disrupt the rush. Howard in a battle, though. Howard comes away with it. Trying to get a centering pass. Poke checked away by Cottage Grove. Cottage Grove in the far corner. They'll circle behind their own net. They play it back out. A couple errant passes and some poke checks. Disrupt the rush there, and they'll just dump it into Kansas City zone. Chasing after it is Barron. Barron gets there first. Plays it over to Howard. Howard trying to get a touch pass out. It's poke checked away by Cottage Grove. They keep it alive. Smith is there with Howard. McClin in the corner. Centering pass goes all the way through the crease. JC chasing after it. JC will take the opportunity up through the neutral zone. JC's across the blue line. And a stick check here. Cottage Grove touches it up. They take JC down. Looks like we'll get a slashing call. KC goes on the power play. Slashing is the call. Just under 6 minutes remaining. Number 12 goes off for Cottage Grove. KC will go with Hargadine to take the face-off. Howard and JC are your wingers. And Weisner and Barron are your defensemen. JC trying to play it back. Fanned on it initially. He'll play it back down low, looking for Howard. JC comes away with it, trying to circle behind the net. He gets boarded up. Hargadine trying to dig it out for Kansas City. Hargadine does. He comes around behind the net. He'll play it back. He sauces it back to Barron on the point. Barron with a quick wrist shot. Tip. Hit the goalie's glove and trickled over the crossbar. JC comes away with it. He's behind the net. He'll circle around, play it back down low, but Howard got tripped up, lost an edge. Hargadine comes away with it. He plays it back down low, hits the brakes, trying to come away with it and put it in the crease. Poke checked away by Cottage Grove. They come the other direction. Barron back, Weisner back checking as well. JC there. Quick shot, turned away by Eager. Barron scoops up the rebound behind his own net, trying to play it through some traffic. Cottage Grove does a good job, though. Good forecheck, even on the penalty kill. 40 seconds remaining on the power play for KC. Hargadine, cross-ice pass looking for Howard. He connects right at the red line. Howard over the blue line into the offensive zone, trying to play it around one defender. It's kicked into the far corner. Howard trying to play it back to Hargadine. Playing it from his knees, he chips it back to Hargadine. Hargadine, he'll sauce it back to Barron. Barron on the point, looking for a hard shot right in front. Goes off Smith. Loose puck in front, picked up by Weisner. Weisner fires it right over the crossbar. I think Smith got tip pass there. Howard trying to play it in. Covered up by the goalie. We get a stoppage in play. I think the shot from Barron might have hit Smith. Knocked him down momentarily in the crease there, or in the slot, I should say. Shot from the left point. 5 seconds remaining on the power play. Smith will take the face-off with Allender and Johnson on the wing. Powell and Hill, all your defensemen. Cottage Grove wins the face-off, and that's just enough to burn off the final part of the power play. Both teams at full strength now. Cottage Grove chips it in the neutral zone, but Powell sends it right back in, but just over both red lines, untouched by KC. So we get an icing call with 4:08 remaining in this first period. KC wins the face-off. Smith taps it back to Powell. Over to Hill. Hill circling behind his own net. He'll bring it up to the face-off dot, looking for a long outlet pass right there to Allender. He's streaking through the zone. Chipped aside, though, by a poke check from Cottage Grove. Created an offside situation, but nevertheless, Cottage Grove stopped a breakaway there. KC comes away with the face-off. Powell chips it ahead, looking for Smith or Johnson. Poke check back. Powell trying to play it ahead, looking for Johnson. Johnson comes over the blue line. Poke checked away, though, as he was trying to get a centering pass over to Allender. Cottage Grove, they'll circle in front of their own net. They'll play it up the right side through the neutral zone. Poke check by Weisner. No, Hill on the far side. Powell chips it ahead, trying to get it out, kept in by Cottage Grove. Shot right on target, saved by Eager. 3.5 minutes remaining. Face off in the KC zone. Still 1-0 on that first goal. Quick shot on a neutral zone turnover by Kansas City, and a quick shot puts Cottage Grove up 1-0. You're only scoring so far. Phillips in a battle, centering attempt by Cottage Grove. Comes all the way out, nobody home, and Myers chips it up and out of the zone. Brown forechecking, drop pass, kind of dangerous there. Dropped it right into the slot. Cottage Grove gets away with it. They play through the neutral zone. Over the blue line into the Kansas City zone, just offsides. Stoppage in play here with 3:07 remaining in the first. Brown takes the face off. He wins it over to Myers. Chip back to Weisner. Weisner chips it ahead to Brown. Brown across the red line, one-on-one here. Brown trying to get through the traffic, but a good poke check by Cottage Grove, disrupt the rush. It plays back to Weisner. Weisner over to his brother Logan. Cottage Grove chips it ahead. Phillips will retreat. Phillips picks up the puck, trying to play it off the boards now of the zone. It comes back right on the stick of a Cottage Grove player. But an errant pass ends up with Myers. Myers picks it up, trying to chip it ahead to Brown. Poke checks, though, by Cottage Grove, and they regain possession. Cottage Grove to the neutral zone, into the KC zone. Good pressure by Smith there. Smith and Weisner separate the puck from the Cottage Grove player. He plays it over to Phillips, just out of his reach. Cottage Grove regains possession in the far corner, but Smith ties up his man. Smith and Phillips on the far side. Two players from each team tied up, and Cottage Grove digs it out and comes away with it. Weisner with a great poke check, though, disrupts it. They play it behind their own net, or behind the KC net, I should say. Centering pass gets chipped out. Comes back to the left point. Poke checked, and they clear the zone. They'll have to reset. Brown forechecking. Cottage Grove retreats all the way back to their own zone. Couple poke checks. Brown trying to chip it ahead to Dungy. Dungy picks it up at the blue line. Dungy gets into the zone. Offensive zone. Little flip shot right into the belly of the goalie. He'll hang on to that. No rebound. We'll get a face-off here in the offensive zone with just under 2 minutes remaining. Good play there by Brown. The great poke check. He flips it ahead to Dungy. He was able to get a shot off. No rebound, though. Smith takes the face-off. Cottage Grove wins it. They play it all the way quickly into the neutral zone. Barron back-checking with Bakta and McClin. Shot saved by Eager. Loose puck in front, kicked aside. Another rebound. Comes right into the slot. Shot again saved by Eager. Smith will pick up the loose puck. He streaks up the right side over the red line into the offensive zone. Smith poke checked away, though. KC will reset. Here comes Cottage Grove the other direction. They push it up the left side. Quick pass into the slot. They play it on the back door. Right through the 5-hole of Eager, and Cottage Grove goes up 2-0 with just over a minute remaining in this first period. It's good puck movement by Cottage Grove. One player back, two back checking for KC. They move the puck quickly to the open man on the back side. Eagers stayed home as long as he could, had to slide to the right. Just not in time as they played it to the back door. 5-hole, one-timer pass. Cottage goes up 2-0. Howard and Hargadine in the battle at center ice, trying to play it across the red line into the zone. JC picks it up. Trying to get through some traffic. He'll dump it into the corner. Two Cottage Grove players there. They come away with it. And they sauce it out into the neutral zone. A little chip pass over the left side. Just under 1 minute remaining. Shot high over Eager's left shoulder. Might have got tipped. It looked like a poke check by Kansas City trying to tip that shot away. Ended up redirecting it and fluttered over Eager's left shoulder. Tough break there on the poke check. Cottage Grove throws the puck on net. Flutters in for the third goal of the first period after a pretty evenly matched first period for a while. Two quick goals by Cottage Grove, and they go up 3-0 in the tail end of this first period. Loose puck at center ice, picked up by Cottage Grove. They're over the blue line. Shot from the face-off circle. Glove saved by Eager. He'll hang on to that one. And we'll get a face-off here just to the left side of the KC net. Cottage Grove loose puck. Shot turned away by Eager. Loose puck behind the net, picked up by Weisner. He plays it around the corner looking for Allender. Chipped at center ice. Loose puck picked up by Weisner. Weisner over the blue line. He's got Johnson streaking. Johnson loses an edge. Weisner rethinks where he was going to pass it to. Tied up in the corner. Eventually chipped out. Allender will play it back for Phillips. Phillips tries to back in, goes into the bench. Cottage Grove bench, that is. So we'll get a quick face-off here at center ice with 7 seconds remaining in this first period. Face-off controlled by Kansas City momentarily, but picked up by Cottage Grove. They dump it right back in on target for Eager. And that'll do it for your first period. Ready to go here in the second period. KC in a big hole, down 3-0. See if they can get that first one on the board and start chipping away at the deficit here. Cottage Grove controls the face-off into the KC zone. They're on the face-off dot. Played by Barron, though. He chips it away. They regain control, though, trying to get it back to the point. Good poke check by Barron. He comes away with it. He gets tripped up, trying to play it ahead to Allender, but clears the zone nonetheless. Poke check by Smith and Allender. They play it right back in the Cottage Grove zone, but turned right away, quickly transitioned back in the neutral zone. Cottage Grove back in the KC zone in the far corner. No circle behind Eager, looking for a one-timer. Didn't get much on it. Poke checked away. Smith trying to play it over to Allender, but kept in. Cottage Grove plays it back to the left D. Trying to get a quick wrist shot, but didn't get any heat on it. Smith clears it out, looking for Bakta. Dump back in, though, but offsides is a call. The face-off just outside the Kansas City zone. Quick line change. Hargadine comes on. Oh, might have had a high stick or a hand pass. We'll see. It brings the face-off back down in the Cottage Grove zone, I should say. Didn't see the indication from the referee on what that was. Cottage Grove wins the face-off. They play it behind their own net. Poke check by JC trying to disrupt that, but they eventually clear it out. Comes back to center ice. Weisner trying to clear it back up to the red line. Cottage Grove pokes it ahead. Howard and Hargadine trying to get it through some traffic. JC trying to play it up. He plays it off the boards. Tip, no icing is the call. Hargadine chasing after. Cottage Grove picks it up behind their own net. They'll circle around. They're trying to play it up and out of the zone, but Howard's there with Hargadine. Howard to Hargadine. Quick shot right in front. Loose puck picked up by JC, and he buries it behind the goalie. KC on the board. Good forecheck pressure there by Hargadine and Howard. They create that. Pick up the loose puck. Shot on net. Initially saved by the Cottage Grove goalie, but JC there in the back door buries the rebound. KC on the board now, 3-1. They're chipping away at it. 13 and a half minutes remaining in the second period. Let's see if they can get another one. Loose puck at center ice. Picked up by Cottage Grove, but poke checked away by Weisner. Weisner flips it ahead, looking for JC, but a good poke check by Cottage Grove. They interrupted that pass. Phillips is only man back. Back checking was Howard and Weisner. Hargadine tying up his man on the point. They dump it in low. Phillips chases after it. He pokes it ahead, looking for JC. Phillips taps it to JC. JC will break it out on the right side. Up into the neutral zone. He'll dump it ahead, keeps the play onside. JC to the bench. Line change, Kansas City. Johnson, Weisner, and Myers are your forwards on the ice. Hill and Powell on D. Cottage Grove plays it ahead just too far. Picked up by Powell. Powell taps it ahead to Johnson. Johnson trying to get around some traffic. Johnson does. He gets through the neutral zone. Chased down, though, with a poke check from behind. Cottage Grove regains possession. Myers, good pressure behind the net. Little circle, change directions. Poke check by Weisner keeps it alive. Weisner will play it back down below the net, looking for Johnson. Cottage Grove trying to clear it out. KC doing a good job to keep the play alive. Weisner ties his man up on the far side. Weisner taps it ahead to Myers. Myers will play it behind the net, looking for Johnson. Johnson circles back. Hill on the point, trying to keep it alive. Hill chips it back down low, but they chip it up and over Hill and up to the red line. Powell's back on D, though. Powell chips it ahead. Over to Johnson. Johnson across the blue line. He's got Brown. He taps it over to Brown. Far side. Johnson back to the bench. Smith is on. Brown tied up in the far corner. Dungy there in support. Two players from each team trying to dig it out. Cottage Grove comes away with it. Smith with good pressure behind the net, though. Cottage Grove trying to clear it up. They play it up off the glass. McLean will pick it up, but KC will have to reset and stay on side. Brown was just about back, about a step too late. KC dumped the puck in, and Brown was almost back, but an offsides call stops the clock here with 11 and a half minutes remaining in the second period. Good offensive pressure for KC. McLean and Barron are your defensemen. Smith will take the face-off. Dungy and Brown on the wings. Smith won the face-off to the left, but picked up, though, by Cottage Grove, and they'll dump it in the KC zone. McLean chasing after it. Barron behind the net as well. Barron taps it ahead to Brown. Brown trying to chip it around some traffic. Brown skates it out of his own zone. Backhand pass, trying to dump it in, but intercepted. Brown waits to get back on side. He plays it over to Smith. Smith picks up the loose puck. He'll play it around some traffic, dumps it in the corner, chasing after it. Smith goes behind the net. Just out of his reach, though, picked up by Cottage Grove. They try to clear it out, but Allender's there to keep it alive. Allender sends it back down low. Smith to the bench. Johnson on the ice. Johnson there as well with Bakta trying to keep the play alive in the far corner. Cottage Grove digs it out, though. Backhand pass, nobody home. They'll retreat and pick it up. Eventually cleared all the way through the neutral zone. Long cross-ice pass on the left side. Good puck movement there, but couldn't corral the pass. Comes into the corner for KC. Allender plays it behind his own net. Looking for Bakta or Barron. Picked up, though, by Cottage Grove. Behind the net, trying to wrap around. Poke checked away, though. They'll bring it back to the point. Picked up by McLean. McLean plays it over to Johnson. Johnson across the red line, but poke checked away as he was getting ready to cross the blue line into the offensive zone. And quickly the other direction. Cottage Grove circling behind the KC net. They'll play it back to the right D. Thought about pulling the trigger, lost the handle. They play it to the left D. Shot errant, goes behind the net. Wide left, Karam's all the way back to the right point. They'll play it back down low in the near corner. Cottage Grove trying to set something up. Good pressure by Kansas City. Barron, Allender, and McLean there. Eventually cleared out by Allender. Be an icing call for Kansas City. They get it all the way cleared out to the other end of the zone. Shift change, fresh legs for Kansas City, but the icing call will bring the face-off back down in the Kansas City zone. 9.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Phillips and Weiser on defense. Hargadine to take the face-off with Howard and JC. Howard battling there with Hargadine. KC trying to chip it out of the slot. Hargadine comes away with it. He plays it over to Howard. Just over the blue line and back, get a little offsides call. KC wins the faceoff. They play it back to Weisner. Weisner off the boards for JC. JC spins around, dumps it into the zone. Chasing after is Howard on the near side. Cottage Grove trying to play it out. Phillips comes down from the point and chips it back in down low. Howard picks up the puck behind his own, or behind the Cottage Grove net, plays it over to JC. JC trying to get it back to Howard, but poke checked away by Cottage Grove, and they clear the zone. Up to center ice, Phillips and Weisner are back. Hargodine's back checking. Cottage Grove down to the faceoff dot shot. Turned aside by Eager. Rebound, though, comes right over to the left winger who was there, and he puts it in to put Cottage Grove up 4-1. First shot initially saved by Eager, but it came right out to the streaking left winger who buried the rebound, much like the JC goal earlier for KC. First rebound not corralled and put back in by Cottage Grove. KC controls the face-off. Weisner trying to play it back to Powell or Hill, but picked up by Cottage Grove. Good poke check by Hill, disrupts that before they could get the shot off. He'll circle behind his own net, trying to play it up and out of the boards. All the way down to the other end of the ice. That'll be an icing call against Kansas City with 8.5 minutes remaining. They'll bring the face-off back down in the Kansas City zone just to the right of Eager. Cottage Grove wins it, way back to the left D. Shot doesn't get through, hits a leg pad. Loose puck in front of the slot. Poke check there by Smith. Shot. Looks like Eager might have got a glove on it. Turned it aside. It was like a wide open net there, but Eager got a glove on it and kicked it behind the net. KC trying to clear it out. Loose puck picked up by Powell. Powell chips it out of the zone, but across both red lines, we get another icing call. And they bring the face-off back down in front of Eager again. Johnson to take the face-off. Brown and Dungy are your wingers. And another quick shot right off the face-off, and Cottage Grove notches the 5th goal of the contest. Quick shot right off the face-off. Center won it forward, jumped right through the traffic, collected the puck on the face-off, and a quick shot beats Eager to put Cottage Grove up 5-1. Bachner controls. Puck trying to tap it ahead to Allender. Cottage Grove player loses an edge. Bachner's there with Smith, trying to keep the play alive, but eventually poked out by Cottage Grove. Weisner and Phillips back on D. Good poke check by Weisner. Chip to the head. Smith chasing after it. Smith has a little room to operate. He's got Allender in tow. Gets a shot off. It's scooped up momentarily by the goalie, but he turns it aside, and the defenseman clears it all out. Phillips picks up the puck, trying to get an outlet pass over to Baca. Intercepted at center ice. Offsides, though. Cottage Grove with the interception of the pass from Phillips. Had a winger just across the blue line too soon. Offsides call stops that play. 7.5 minutes remaining in period number 2. Hargadine, Howard, and JC are your forwards. Powell and Hill back on D. Referee tosses out the center for Cottage Grove. New center takes the puck. He wins it back to the right D. Cottage Grove plays it over the left side. They'll dump it in behind the net. Powell chasing after it. Powell gets there first, trying to play it ahead and get it to JC to clear it out. JC chasing after it, but it's kept in by Cottage Grove just over the blue line, though. They had it on the stick momentarily, but the puck trickled out into the white, just out of the zone. And when he dumped it back in, that created the offsides. Hargadine taps it ahead through the neutral zone, but picked up by Cottage Grove. They'll play it back to the left side. Regrouping at the red line, pressure by Hargadine at center ice. Cottage Grove jumps across the blue line, down the face-off dot, poke check by Powell, quick shot, saved by Eager, right on target. Powell poke checked that puck away, but quickly regained by Cottage Grove. They fired a quick shot into the belly of Eager. He hung on to that one with no rebound. 7:02 remaining in this second period. KC 5-1, 4-goal deficit. Left the first period with a 3-goal deficit. Lost a little ground here so far in the second period. Barron comes away with it. He'll skate it up the near side. Barron pushes it through the neutral zone. Through some traffic. He's got Smith. He gets upended. They get a tripping call on Cottage Grove. KC will go on the power play as Barron was streaking through the neutral zone, got upended right at the blue line. Barron and Weisner are your defensemen on this power play unit. Johnson plays it back after the face-off win by Smith. Barron, quick snapshot. Might have hit a defenseman and got kicked aside behind the net. Allender trying to play it over to Weisner. Weisner chips it ahead, but it hits up into the net. Get a stoppage in play. 1:18 remaining on the power play. 6.5 minutes in the second period. Puck dug out of the net. We're ready to go now. 5-on-4 hockey for KC. KC wins the face-off. Johnson plays it back to Allender. Allender from the face-off dot. Shot right into the belly of the goalie. Hangs onto it. Looks like he might have thought it dropped down. He wasn't quite sure where it was. It was hung up in his leg pads. But quick shot by Allender. Saved by the goalie without a rebound. We'll do it again. Smith take the face-off. Again, Smith ties up his man. Johnson plays it back to Allender. Allender over to Barron. Barron back to Weisner. Weisner back over to Barron. Quick shot, turned aside. Got a poke check by the defenseman before it got on target. Johnson picks up the loose puck. Trying to create some space here. Allender's there as well. We get a 5-on-3 situation here. It's delayed penalty coming up on Cottage Grove. Weisner plays it back to Barron on the blue line. Barron chips it over to Allender. Allender, long cross-ice pass to Weisner. Weisner with a shot. Wide, goes into the corner and caroms all the way back out to the point. Goalie's pulled. Another extra attacker for Kansas City. Shot saved by the goalie. Just under 6 minutes remaining now. Delayed penalty, meaning as soon as Cottage Grove touches the puck, the play stops and they call the penalty. So there's no chance that Cottage Grove could have scored in that instance. KC pulled their goalie to get an extra attacker. Already a 5-on-4. They created a 6-on-4 momentarily, but as soon as the goalie saved it, that stopped the play. And now there's a 5-on-3 situation for Kansas City. Barron at the point. Quick shot goes off the leg pad of a defenseman. Hargadine picks up the loose puck. They'll play it back to Barron. Barron to the blue line. He plays it back down low to Weisner. Weisner cross-ice pass right through the slot looking for Howard. Picked up by Hargadine, though. Hargadine trying to create some space. 10 seconds remaining on the first penalty. 1:08 remaining on the second penalty. Barron plays it over to Weisner at the face-off dot. Weisner trying to get some space there for a shot. He'll play it back to Barron. 5-on-4 now. One penalty is over. Shot turned aside. Loose puck picked up by JC. JC plays it back to Weisner. Trying to get it chipped out, but controlled by KC. They pick it up. Still 5-on-4 for 45 more seconds. JC chipping it back down for Howard. Howard plays it back out to Weisner at the point. Howard at the right point plays it over to Barron. Barron chips it down to Hargadine. Hargadine at the face-off dot right at back door, looking for a shot, buried by Weisner. Great pass by Hargadine. He plays it over the back door for Weisner, and he puts it right over the goalie's shoulder. Power play goal for Kansas City. They go back on the board with their second goal. Cut the deficit down to 5-2. Good puck movement there from Hargadine over to Landon Weisner on the back door. Hargadine was down low, tough angle, but wide open on the backside was Weisner. Hargadine found him. Landon Weisner connects. KC 5-2 on the power play goal with just under 5 minutes remaining in this second period. Not sure what they're doing here. It looks like they're putting a penalty up for Cottage Grove, but they have 5 players on the ice. There's a player in the box. And there we go. So they're going to call a penalty on number 49. I didn't see what happened there, but KC with the quick goal. And immediately another penalty by Cottage Grove. So KC back on the power play. Johnson picks up the puck at the blue line. Trying to dump it in the zone there, but dug out by Cottage Grove. Powell and Hill there trying to keep the play alive. It comes back all the way to the KC zone where Hill regroups. Hill trying to play it ahead to Johnson. Poke check by Cottage Grove disrupts it momentarily. Johnson trying to chip it ahead to Smith. It's poke check back to Powell. Powell circles in the neutral zone. Across the blue line through some traffic. Poked away, picked up in the slot by Johnson. Got a shot, but went off a shin guard of one of the defensemen. They chip it up off the glass, back into the KC zone. Short-handed little rush here. Powell takes down a man. He's going to get a penalty for that. Puck is touched up by Smith. Powell tackled a man going into the near corner. 44 seconds remaining on the penalty to Cottage Grove. That'll even things up. 4-on-4 now. Penalty to Powell. Minute 30. So about 44 seconds on the first penalty to Cottage Grove. As soon as that expires, KC will be on a penalty kill for a bit. Barron picks up a loose puck at center ice. 4-on-4, a little more open room, trying to get through some traffic. Barron gets through it, plays on the back door. Shot from Logan Weisner. Just tipped wide right. 30 seconds remaining of 4-on-4 hockey. Hargadine plays it back to Weisner behind the net. Weisner chasing after it, trying to create some space. Stick check, he comes away with it. He circles behind the net. Trying to find some room to operate. Drop pass for his brother Landon. Landon right in front, loose puck in front. Leg pad save. Hargadine there, trying to get a stick on it. Just couldn't lift it up and over the leg pad. Goalie had his right leg stretched out. Hargadine trying to tuck it in there, but couldn't corral it to lift it over the leg pad. Hargadine and Weisner are your forwards. Weisner and Barron are your defensemen. 4-on-4 here for 10 more seconds. Hargadine wins it over to Weisner. Weisner and Hargadine trying to dig it out. They'll play it back maybe to Barron. Nope, cross-ice pass over to Landon Weisner. Landon Weisner in the face-off circle, trying to get it back to Barron, but it's chipped out into the neutral zone. Kansas City on the penalty kill now. Barron trying to get through some traffic. He gets on the right side. Good poke checks by Cottage Grove disrupt that rush, but it's kept in by Hargadine momentarily. Eventually comes back to center ice. He'll play it back to Phillips. Phillips in the neutral zone. Chips it ahead over to Hargadine. Hargadine and Howard across the blue line. Poke check though, and they disrupt that rush. Cottage Grove behind their own net. 15 seconds remaining on the penalty to Powell. Long outlet pass for Cottage Grove. Phillips is the only man back for Kansas City. He'll force his man into the corner. Ties him up, upends him. Puck comes away with McClin. McClin trying to get it out. An outlet pass to Howard. He does. Howard, Powell, and JC. A 3-on-1, maybe a 3-on-2. Howard dumps it in behind the net. JC and Howard trying to tie him up. Loose puck comes back to McClin at the face-off circle. McClin lets a shot go. It goes off a shin guard of a Cottage Grove defender. They immediately rush the other direction. Good poke check there by McClin and Hill. Disrupts the rush. Puck goes into the far corner. JC and Hill tying up with pressure there. Myers just fresh off the bench. He taps it ahead to JC. JC trying to get around some traffic. 2 minutes remaining in the second period. JC chips it ahead. Bakta, Myers chasing after it. Puck controlled by Cottage Grove behind their own net. They quickly played out to the left side into the neutral zone. A couple of poke checks by the Kansas City defense. Bouncing puck created a little offside situation as they got ahead of it. Stoppage in play here with 1:46 remaining in period number 2. Bakta, Myers, and Brown are your forwards. Cottage Grove controls the face-off. They jump it into the Kansas City zone, but picked off by Bakta. Bachta trying to play it out and tap it ahead to McLean. Loose puck in front. Shot saved by Eager. Kicked aside. Barron picks up the loose puck and just dug it out of the crease. Barron streaking up the right side, trying to get through some traffic. Skates through some traffic, levels the guy in the process. Quick shot, glove save, kicked aside. Cottage Grove trying to clear it out. They sauce pass it into the neutral zone. Stick check attempt by McLean, but it comes away. Cottage Grove all by themselves. 5-hole goal through the middle of Eager's legs after the poke check attempt at center ice. They beat the Kansas City defense. Created a breakaway situation there across the blue line, and they beat Eager 5-hole. That puts Cottage Grove up 6-2 with just over a minute remaining in this second period. Smith ties up his man after the face-off. Eventually controlled by Cottage Grove. They circle around trying to cross the red line, but a poke check by Smith. Another good poke check by Powell. He dumps into the neutral zone. Smith chasing after it. He gets tied up. We'll get a penalty here. Interference on Cottage Grove as Smith was chasing after it on the right side. He got upended and slowed down. Probably an interference call, if I would guess. Interference is the call on number 12. KC goes back on the power play. 50 seconds remaining in the second period. Barring a goal, they'll take that power play into the third and final period. Allender plays it back down low. Johnson will chase after that behind the net. Johnson, Allender behind the net trying to tie it up. Smith there as well, but eventually chipped out. Cottage Grove flips it up into the neutral zone, trying to clear through some traffic. Barron's the only man back. Johnson back checking. Quick shot goes wide right. Loose puck comes out near side. Johnson chasing after Johnson, Smith, and Weisner. Johnson in the near corner with Smith. Dug out by Cottage Grove. They'll skate it through the face-off dot up the blue line into the neutral zone. Smith chasing after it. Weiser and Barron back on D. Poke check attempt to get around some traffic. Trying to wrap around. Saved by Eager. Barron comes away with it. Barron will skate it up the left side. 5 seconds remaining. Barron fires a shot just off target, but all he could do with time expiring there, he fires it on net. KC claws back with a couple goals, but gives up a few more and finds themselves down 4 goals going into the third period after the 3-goal deficit following period number 1. Outscored 3-0 in the first period. Outscored 3-2 in the second. Hargadine takes the face off. KC wins it. Hargadine trying to play it back to the defense. He gets it over to Barron. Barron over the blue line, looking for a quick shot, and he scores! Barron beats the goalie on the left side. Quick wrist shot. Not sure the goalie ever saw that. Barron picked up a loose puck after the face-off. He skates it right over the red line. KC stays on side, just over the blue line, and a quick shot. He fires it on the left side of the goalie. Not sure the goalie saw it. KC cuts the deficit down by 1. Howard on the forecheck, chips it ahead. He'll take it into the near corner. Good pressure by Howard. Howard comes away with it. Trying to play it back. He's got JC in the slot. He taps it back to JC, but just out of his reach. It trickles all the way over to a Cottage Grove player, and they rush the other direction. Good back check by JC, though, but JC ties up his man. Just getting back for a good back check, but got a stick in there. Slowed him down with the hooking penalty. KC will on the penalty kill here. 14 and a half minutes remaining in this final period. They go on the penalty kill. Quick strike by Barron. KC cuts into that deficit, down 3 now. But on the penalty kill, pretty much at the start of this third period. Smith takes the face off. He taps it back to McClin. McClin trying to clear it out. Kept in by Cottage Grove. They chip it back down behind the Kansas City net. McClin and Smith trying to apply pressure, but they sneak it back over the left point. Back down low, back down high. Shot blocked by Johnson. Tip goes behind the net. Cottage Grove comes away with it. They play it back to the point. Back down to the face-off circle, trying to get something set up here. Circling around, they play it over the left side. Back to the blue line. Over to the right side. Good poke check there by Smith. He'll turn around and fire it. Icing will be the call if it's off target. It is off target. Gives Kansas City the opportunity for a line change. Powell and Halen on D. Logan Weisner and Bakta are your forwards. 47 seconds remaining on the penalty to JC. Bakta tried to win it forward and jump through it. Cottage Grove trying to prevent that. They actually cleared all the way back across their own blue line. And they'll reset. D-to-D behind their own net. Outlet pass into center ice. Right on target. Powell and Hill back on D for Kansas City. Cottage Grove pulls up short. Trying to get a centering pass. Goes into the crease. Kicked aside. Bakta chips it out. Comes back to the blue line. Shot saved by Eager. Right on target. Eager had his eye on it. Saved it with the chest pad. Covered it up. Dropped right down in front. 19 seconds remaining on the penalty to JC. KC back at full strength here shortly. Just over 13 minutes remaining in this final period. Cottage Grove plays it back to the right D, back down low, trying to set something up, but a good poke check there by Hill. Hill disrupts that. They play it back to the left point. They'll circle around the blue line, trying to find some space. Quick shot, leg pad saved by Eager. Comes back to Weisner. Weisner trying to chip it out. He taps it over to Powell. Powell at least breaks it out of the zone, trying to get a little rush there, but at least clears the zone. Quick strike, though, by Cottage Grove as they jump back in the KC zone. They fire from the right face-off dot, and a save by Eager. KC back at full strength now, 5-on-5. The penalty to JC had expired. Weisner and Phillips on defense. Myers, Dungy, and Johnson are your forwards. Johnson will take the face-off. Johnson trying to win it over to Myers. Johnson chips it ahead. Trying to poke it out of the zone. Myers chips it ahead. It's tipped. They wave off icing. It's tipped by the Cottage Grove defenseman. Myers, good forecheck pressure there, trying to tie him up behind the net. They change direction. They play it out the right side. Tip pass intercepted by Johnson momentarily, but ends up on the stick of Cottage Grove player. They play it down the right side, going down low. Centering pass right in front. Loose puck kicked aside. Dungy chips it up into the neutral zone. Cottage Grove will reset. Johnson with forecheck pressure there. Dungy ties up his man, gets upended at center ice. Myers chips it ahead, trying to poke check it ahead to Johnson, but collected by Cottage Grove in their own zone. 12 minutes remaining in the game. They reset at center ice. Poke check by Johnson. He disrupts that, taps it ahead to Allender. Allender across the blue line. He's got Brown in tow. Trying to sauce it into center ice, or the slot I should say, but kicked aside by the goalie. He plays it back over to Brown. Brown looking to get something going in the slot there. Loose puck, he gets upended. Sitting on the puck momentarily, trying to dig it out of there. Eventually picked up by Cottage Grove. McClin and Barron back on D. 2-on-2 rush here. McClin forces man into the far side. Trying to bring it back to the crease, but good back check by Hargadine as well. They tie the man up. McClin comes away with it. McClin trying to tap it ahead and get it out to Allender. Comes over to Hargadine. Hargadine over to Brown. Brown and Hargadine get tied up. Picked up, though, by Cottage Grove. They come back. Shot goes off the leg of Barron. Doesn't get through the traffic. Another loose puck. Kicked aside by Barron. McClin kicks it out. Trying to get it over to Hargadine. Hargadine gets upended. Loses an edge. picked up at the blue line. Hargadine heads back to the bench. Howard on the ice for Hargadine. Allender taps it over to Brown. Brown trying to chip it ahead to Howard. Poke checked away though. Offsides call by Cottage Grove. Just under 11 minutes remaining as they jumped into the KC zone with one man already across the blue line. And we get a face-off here. Smith, JC, and Howard are your forwards. Powell and Hill back on D. No clear possession, a little back and forth there, several poke checks. Offsides as it came back to center ice, and there's a Cottage Grove player laying on the ice across the blue line, so already in the zone before the puck. Offsides call. JC chips it around some traffic, picked up though by the left defenseman who dumps it in the KC zone. Powell chases after it. Hill there as well. Hill gets there first. Hill plays it back over to Powell. Powell pulls it up, gets around some traffic. Good stick movement there. JC plays it around traffic as well. Poke check by Cottage Grove, and KC will reset. Powell trying to play it ahead to JC. On the stick of JC. JC ahead, trying to chip it over to Smith, but a good back check by Cottage Grove, and they disrupt the rush. They try to play it off right in front. Loose puck shot. Looks like it got in. They tried to clear it out. Looked like Smith tapped it in there. Yep, that is a goal. KC cuts it down to 6-4. Clearing attempt by Cottage Grove. They played it right off the back of the boards. It just trickled in front of the goalie, and Smith was right there. Puts the puck in the back of the net. That makes it 6-4. Johnson to take the face-off. Bachta and Weisner are your forwards. And Powell and Hill on D. Suddenly, KC is chipped away at this with 10 minutes remaining. Down to a 2-goal deficit. Bachta chips it in, looking for Johnson. Tied up there with the referee. Kind of a tough break on the traffic there. Cottage Grove comes away with it. KC trying to keep it alive. It trickles outside the blue line. They'll have to reset. Cottage Grove comes away with it anyway. Johnson picks up a loose puck after a poke check, trying to get around some traffic. He chips it ahead to Bachta. Johnson, Bachta, and Weisner. Good poke check, timely there by Cottage Grove as KC had numbers 3-on-2. Cottage Grove chips it the other direction. Powell, the only man back. They play it around the defenseman. Quick flip shot goes wide right. Powell plays it ahead to Weisner. Weisner trying to sauce it ahead, looking for Bachta just out of his reach, but Johnson chasing after it. Fresh off the bench, though, is a Cottage Grove player, and he picks up a loose puck in his own zone. Cottage Grove will play it back. Errant pass to the right defenseman. Myers chasing after it. They'll play it up the near side. Loose puck picked up by Myers. Myers chips it over to Dungy. They'll dump it in to keep the play on side. Hargadine on the ice. Chasing after him on the far side. The puck caroms behind the net. Hargadine ties up his man, comes away with it. Down to the face-off dot, right in the slot. Shot, leg pad save. Hargadine got a quick shot off. Right leg pad save by the Cottage Grove goalie. Good forecheck pressure there as Hargadine picked off the puck in the offensive zone and got a quick shot in the slot. Puck comes back the other direction with a good quick shot. Covered up by Eager, though. We get a face-off here with 8.5 minutes remaining. A little action after the whistle here. Number 19 thought better about it. Hargadine will take the face-off. Myers and Dungy are your other wingers. Myers trying to chip it around some traffic. Comes back to Weisner. Weisner has Hargadine. He chips it ahead to Hargadine. Hargadine stays on side, pulls it back. Trying to get through one last defender for a shot, but poke checked away. Weisner regroups. Trying to corral the puck, but poked away by Cottage Grove. Phillips is there. Disrupts the shot. They get a quick shot, though. Saved by Eager with the glove save. It's kicked aside. Cottage Grove regroups. They play it back to the point. Phillips is down low. They'll play behind the KC net. Good puck movement by Cottage Grove. Picked off, though, by Allender. Allender rushing through the neutral zone. He's over the red line. He'll just dump it right on target. KC caught in a line change here. No support there, so he dumps it on target. Cottage Grove picks it up, though, and they rush quickly back to the neutral zone into the Kansas City zone. Shot turned aside by Eager. Stick save. Picked up on the near side by Cottage Grove. Trying to clear it out. Kept in. knocked down by Howard. Brown chasing after, trying to backhand it up out of the zone, but kept in by Cottage Grove. Brown picks up a loose puck. He'll skate it out, trying to get through some traffic. Back checking though is Cottage Grove, and they come away with it. Shot high, wide left, Karam's all the way back to the right point. Poke check. McLean comes away with it. McLean's got Allender. He's streaking through the neutral zone. He plays it over to Allender, just out of his reach. And Cottage Grove will come away with it behind their own net. Howard and McLean forecheck pressure. McLean trying to play it back down low, but intercepted by Cottage Grove. They're across the blue line into the Kansas City zone. Good poke check by Barron. He separates the puck. Barron rushing up the right side, trying to get through some traffic. He plays it through to Jason. Barron rolls back to the point. Weisner comes away with it. Weisner plays it back to Powell. Powell on the right point. Shot. Hits the defenseman on the shoulder, and he knocks it down. Cottage Grove rushing the other direction. Weisner back checking. They chip it ahead, but knocked down by Barron. They're going to get JC for a penalty here. I didn't quite see what happened. Maybe a hook. Slash. They got him for a slash. JC goes off with just over 6 minutes remaining in the game. KC down on the penalty kill again. Back down low. Hill trying to dig it out there and play it over to Powell or Weisner. Intercepted, though, momentarily by Cottage Grove. Weisner comes away with it. He'll dig it out behind his own net, trying to play it over to Hill or Smith. Hill chips it ahead, but it's kept in by Cottage Grove. They keep it alive at the blue line. Chip it right back down below through the slot below the net. Pick it up and play it right back to the point. Quick shot. And they beat Eager over the right side. He looked like he had his glove ready for it. It just snuck over the right side of his glove. Power play goal for Cottage Grove puts them up 7-4. That negates a penalty to JC. Both teams back at full strength. 5:43 remaining. Cottage Grove dumps it in, but Phillips is there. He plays it off the boards, up and out of the zone. Chips it ahead to Johnson, just out of his reach, though. So I can get a hooking penalty here. I believe it'll be on Cottage Grove as they took down Johnson. Both players ended up going down, but hooking penalty on, looks like number 19. Number 19 for Cottage Grove. KC goes on the power play. Barron and Weisner on defense. Smith, Allender, and Johnson are your forwards for the power play. KC trying to win it back to the point. Johnson chips it over to Allender. Allender trying to get it over to Weisner, but doesn't get through. Picked off by Cottage Grove, and they rush the other direction. Weisner back checking. He picks up the puck. Hits the brakes behind his own net. Looking for an outlet pass. He'll skate it up the near side. He chips it ahead to Allender. Allender plays it off some traffic over to Smith. Smith has Johnson. He plays over to Smith, or looking for Johnson, but poke checked away, got just behind him. Barron runs into a player from Cottage Grove. He got the worst of that one. Quick shot by Barron. Shorthanded attempt. Saved by the Cottage Grove goalie. .59 seconds remaining on the power play for KC. Hargadine will take the face-off. He's got JC and Howard on the wings. Loose puck bouncing around. Hargadine trying to battle with it. Tied up in the skates in the slot there. It trickles out. Howard chasing after it. Howard goes down hard in the corner. JC trying to dig it out. Hargadine comes away with it. Howard is down. He ran into the boards pretty hard. Howard on his knees trying to get up, but it's like he's moving around, but he got taken down pretty hard into the boards in the far corner, or the near corner, I should say. He's on his feet. That's good to see. Seems to be holding his side. Maybe his shoulder. Injury stoppage. Going to bring the face-off just outside the zone. Not to create an advantage for anybody in the offensive zone, so they'll play it just outside the blue line. I think I had the clock running there. Sorry about that. Scroll that back up. This puck picked up behind the Cottage Grove net. They try to play it out. Picked off though by Hargadon. He plays it back down low, looking for Smith, just out of his reach. Picked up by Cottage Grove. They try to clear it out. Comes back to Hargadon. He's trying to get a centering pass. Comes back to the blue line for Barron. Barron fires a shot. Got tipped. Goes over the crossbar. Loose puck comes up to Hargadon on the near side. Hargadon trying to create some space. He play it back down low for JC. JC trying to get through to the crease. Can't get through some traffic, and the goalie reaches out and just covers it up. We get a stoppage in play here. The goalie with the glove covers it up. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the game. 6 seconds remaining on the power play for Kansas City. Just enough time for maybe one more face-off win. And a quick shot, and then the teams will be back at full strength. Smith, Dungy, and Weisner are your forwards. Powell and Hill back on D. Cottage Grove wins a face-off. That's just enough time to expire the penalty. He comes back to the point. Chipped up and over the blue line. Both teams back at full strength now. Cottage Grove digs out the red line. Quickly in the KC zone, looking for a shot. Just back in time is Hill as he disrupted that centering pass. Cottage Grove comes away with it. They dig it out of the near corner, trying to sauce it back to the point, just over the stick of the left defender. And they'll regroup. 3.5 minutes remaining in the game. Powell intercepts the pass at center ice. He's over the blue line, trying to get through some traffic, looking for a quick snapshot. Gets poke checked wide left. Brown will dig it out of the corner. Brown trying to play it back to the point, splits the defense, and KC will reset. Powell dumps it back in, but Brown's still in the zone. Slow to get up. He might have got shaken up on the play. So Brown deep in the zone on the dump-in pass from Powell creates an offside situation. Looks like maybe Brown got upended by a player that I didn't see it, but might have been why Brown was shaken up. Cottage Grove sends one man to the box, number 77. KC goes back on the power play. KC goes with their usual power play unit. Weisner and Barron on the defensive line. Smith and Johnson forward. Barron trying to keep the play alive at the point. He does. Gets through some traffic right in front to Johnson. Johnson with a quick shot. Glove save by the Cottage Grove goalie. Good puck movement there. Barron battled two or three players at the point to keep the play alive. He got the puck down low to Johnson. Johnson in the slot, but a glove save by the goalie. KC wins the face-off, plays it back to Weisner. Weisner over to Barron. Barron trying to get a shot blocked by the defenseman. Or the forward, I should say. For Cottage Grove, they rush the other direction. They play it back through some traffic. Quick snapshot. Eager got a shoulder on it. Covered up the save. 1:08 remaining in the penalty. 2:56 on the game clock. High-scoring game here with 11 goals in this first game of the tournament. KC trying to play it out. Hargadon and Weisner there. They play it back to Landon Weisner. Landon back to Logan. Weisner up the right side. He has JC and Hargadon. Weisner trying to chip it ahead into the zone. Poke checked away by Cottage Grove, though they disrupt the rush. And they'll bring it the other direction. Quick outlet pass to the left side. Weisner and Barron back on D. 40 seconds remaining in the power play. Hargadon leaves it for Weisner. Weisner plays around the boards for his brother Logan Weisner. Logan Weisner chipping it ahead for Hargadon. Hargadon trying to get an outlet pass over to JC at the red line. Picked off at center ice by Cottage Grove. They'll dump it in. Barron chases after it. 15 seconds remaining on the power play. He tries to play it around to Weisner. Weisner taps to the head looking for Hargadine, but kept in at the point. Turned aside by Eager after the quick shot. Backhand shot from Cottage Grove, turned aside by Eager. Penalty is over. Both teams at full strength. 5-on-5 shot right on target. Stick save, and Eager covers it up. A little action after the whistle here. Bachta wins a face-off, trying to play it over the right wing, tied up on the far side, though. Bachta back in there in support. Myers and Dungy are your other forwards. Powell and Hill on defense. And stoppage in play here. Kind of a soft whistle, nobody heard it, but eventually blow it dead. Looks like Hill's going to go off. He got a little tie-up in the corner. Actually, they're going to take them both off. Offsetting penalties, offsetting minors. Hill for KC and number 72 for Cottage Grove both go off. Offsetting minors, they'll still play 5-on-5 hockey. 90 seconds remaining in the contest. Shot right in front, turned aside by Eager, and then Myers cleared the crease. Trying to play it back to the point, but kept in. Loose puck trying to chip it out. Dungy does get it out. Chipped up into the offensive zone. Myers chasing after it. No icing. It was tipped. They wave it off. Myers with good forecheck pressure. Trying to tie up his man behind the net with Bachta. Bachta comes away with it. Looking for a centering pass. Fires it right on target, right off the post. Cottage Grove clears it up and off the glass. Comes back to center ice for Powell. Powell fans on the clearing attempt, but he eventually swings it back to the neutral zone. Dungy picks it up. Dungy and Bachta. Plays it over to Bachta, just behind Bachta as he was streaking in. And Cottage Grove clears it out. About 40 seconds remaining. Brown fresh off the bench. He comes away with a poke check. Brown trying to play it through some traffic. Johnson there in support as well, but poked out. Offsides call as Brown and Johnson are both in the offensive zone. And it looks like they're just going to run the clock. No, they stopped it now, so 25 seconds remaining. Last shift here for KC. Weisner, Barron are your defensemen. Smith, Johnson, and Brown on the forward line. Puck comes back to the point. Quick shot by Barron. Loose puck in front, and they cover it up. Goalie did not actually have that puck covered up right off the bat, so Johnson gave a little stick check at it, but the goalie covered up on the second attempt. Defenseman didn't like that, but it was not corralled. The quick shot by Barron was kind of bouncing around there. Quick shot by Weisner. Blocker save, bounces up, and trickles just wide. Good shot by Weisner there. 5 seconds remaining. Cottage Grove will just flip it up and out of the zone, and that will do it. 7-4, your final. A little last rush there by Cottage Grove. Got a little closer than I thought it would with time expiring. But 7-4, your final. KC drops the first one. KC with 2 games tomorrow, 7:15 in the morning and 8 p.m. See if they can bounce back after dropping this first one. 7-4. A couple good teams tomorrow on the docket. Be back at the same facility. There are 3 sheets of ice here, so we'll see which rink we're on tomorrow, but same facility, the Bloomington Ice Garden.